Welcome to the party, pal. You're for the neighborhood Master Chaos. Back with you once again. It's nice to see you. I've got some new guests with me tonight, and I'm very excited to have them. First of all, Mr. Brian Gatto, the horror show host. How are you, sir?
I am good. Glad to be here.
Oh man, it is an honor. We're going to be talking your books and movie collecting in a little bit, and then of course the venerable Magic Man L.D. Madera. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Master Chaos. Very happy to be here.
Fantastic, fantastic. I am thrilled. We are going to be chatting 5 Hollywood news stories, and then of course we're going to be doing some magic. Now, here you go. N horror in the house. What's up, my friend? I'm glad you're here. We have a hi from Texas. Oh wow. Well, I hope you're staying warm. I hope you're okay. I hope your family's okay. And I'm glad you're able to tune in. I'm happy to have you. Hopefully we'll keep you warm as we can. And then Interweb Kaiju is here. Take this. Love. What does that mean? Are you throwing love our way? That's good. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, sir. Adam says, howdy from Wisconsin. Hello, Adam. Howdy to you, sir. I hope it's not that. Well, it might be. I don't know. I'm in LA, so our weather's pretty bland at the moment. I hope you're well. Hope your family is well as well. Before we kick things off in the Hollywood space, I do want to mention what I'm drinking today, because I always have to do something fun and interesting to drink. This is something that blew my mind. Coca-Cola coffee. Have you guys heard of this?
No,
I haven't. Is that new?
This, I guess, this is the first time I saw it at Target. It was Coca-Cola and black coffee combination. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. And that's why I should be drinking it tonight on episode 5. It's exactly what it says it is. Wow, that is very strange. Coca-Cola and coffee. Very strange. I don't know why would they come up with that. Anyway, before we get to the news stories, LD, you have a trick that you would like to perform for us, yes?
Yes, I do. Something new. And I'd actually be honored if Brian could do this trick with me.
of course.
All right. Now, Brian, this is going to be one of those tricks where people are going to swear that you and I set it up beforehand, just like Shia LaBeouf would say.
Yeah.
And, but Brian, I do want you to tell the truth. This is the first time that you and I are meeting, and we really have not set anything up at all, correct?
Nothing at all.
All right, so let's do this. So I'm going to ask you a bit of a personal question, if that's okay.
Sure.
But not too personal, I don't think. Throughout your entire life, how many homes have you lived in?
One
Just one home your entire life?
home.
Okay, you've never moved around anywhere or anything like that?
Nope.
Nope, you just stayed in that same house the entire time.
All 27 years.
27 years. Okay, well that's fine. But of course, you and I have never met before, so I have no idea what your home address is. Correct?
Right.
All right. So I'll tell you what. What I want you to do right now, Brian, is I want you to just think of your address in your mind right now. Now we're not going to use the whole address because I'm worried you might start getting strange letters in the mail, and we don't want that.
You
So
might like
what I maybe some people enjoy some surprise mail. But Brian, what I want you to do is I just want you to focus on the first numbers of your address. So in other words, if your address is 123 Main Street, just focus on the 123. Make sense?
All right. Yep.
All right. Now, there's no possible way I could know the numbers that are in your head right now. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. So, Brian, we're going to see if we can have some sort of mental connection right now. And do me a favor, just stare directly at the screen and look straight into my eyes, please. I just got some numbers in my head, and I'm going to go ahead and write them down on my hand. I want you to see I don't have anything written on my hand right now, right?
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write the numbers that I see in my head right now. I'm going to hide my pen so you don't see the movement.
shape. This is crazy. If what I think you're doing happens, this is nuts. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be nuts to me too. All right, so Brian, I've got something written on my hand right here. And now for the very first time, Brian, could you please tell me the numbers that are in your head right now?
6.
Just 6?
Just 6.
Your address consists of just the number 6.
Yep.
All right. So how this is like your childhood home, and I'm assuming that you've lived here since you were a kid and all that?
Yep.
Yeah. It's funny because most people, they just kind of like move around and stuff like that. But you have stayed in that house the entire time. That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've had my hand here with a number written down the entire time, and I want to show you that I just happen to have the number 6 written on my hand.
Wow.
And you can see this is not an app filter or a green screen. That really is written on my hand right there. And I think Brian deserves a little bit of applause for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
And what's even crazier is I don't have my address listed anywhere on social media or anything.
Wow.
Well, it is now.
Everybody thinks we can track him down now. And Horror says if he guesses the address, drink a shot. No, I'm done drinking. I don't know if anyone saw my my drunk master of drunken unboxing video. I will never drink again. My ribs still hurt from all the throwing up I did off camera. Adam calls you a witch, so
you are right to say that, Adam. Thank you very much.
we must beware that do not cross the LD. He says, and then says, "Holy shit, he's the real deal!" Wow.
Of course, now I'm going to have Brian's address on my hand for the next couple of days. That's going to be the weird thing. I'm going to have to try to explain that to my wife somehow.
Should have it tattooed. In a web kaiju, it says, "Good trick, guys." All right.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone's enjoying the magic of LD. Guys, go follow LD, and please, if you don't already, go follow Horror Show Host. These guys are great. I mean, Brian's been at it for like almost 10 years. We're talking about it off camera. I mean, he is a pro. He is a veteran. So go follow him if you don't already. And LD's like me. We're sort of the new guys, but and we grew up together. Me and LD grew up together.
We did.
So we're old pals. And if you like magic, you got like what, like a new trick a week? Is that sort of your plan?
Roughly about every 2 weeks or so. It takes some time to put it together and get it well edited and all that. So it's a challenge. I mean, learning new magic is one thing, but try doing it on camera. That creates like a whole lot of different challenges right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just gave you a sub, LD.
Hey, thank you, buddy.
All right.
No problem.
Love it. Okay, pals. Okay, hold on. We got a comment. Timothy, I'm glad you made it. Good to see you. I'm hoping that you are well, sir. All right, let's head on over to our next story. Now, this has all been this is nothing that's like so shocking news or anything, but I've kept it from my guests here, and I shall reveal it to them now. It will be dealing with something that we all need more of in our life. Just kidding. Nobody needs more porgs, but we might just be getting that. It looks like Rian Johnson is not done butchering Star Wars. Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy is still happening, according to a new interview. I'm going to skip all of this. He was being interviewed for something, and the reporter, the most important part is what the reporter says right here. I'm just going to post this now because I can see that I'm going to get a lot of questions. Yes, Ryan's Star Wars trilogy is still on. No dates or timelines because he has other projects going on, but it is happening. That is all I know about it. Now, I was not YouTubing at the time that Last Jedi came out, but I hated The Last Jedi. I was not a fan. I thought it did more harm than good. And this is from a guy who loved the hell out of Force Awakens. I thought it was a really interesting reboot. I think it's a really unique way to reintroduce the world. And I thought, okay, this storyline, these characters are going to branch out to something interesting. In my opinion, I think Last Jedi really dropped the ball for many reasons. Too many to go into at the moment. But it sounds like Rian Johnson wants to do it again. Too many to go into at the moment. But hold on. It sounds like for some reason my phone just started playing the show. Okay, so let's go with Brian. Brian, what are your feelings? First, I guess let's talk Last Jedi real briefly. What did you think of Last Jedi, and where do you stand with it today?
Well, so I've only seen parts 1 to 7, so I haven't seen The Last Jedi.
Good for you.
Yeah, I didn't mind The Force Awakens when it came out, but over time I'm kind of like, I'm okay on the movie, but I heard the hate and I was kind of torn away from it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not very good, and I don't even. I'm sorry. I'm just going to turn off my YouTube here. It's ridiculous. Okay, I'm not even a giant Star Wars guy, but I know who is. LD, let's chat. Because when we grew up, I wasn't even aware that you liked Star Wars or were even aware of it. So,
well, I'll be honest. I kind of got into it later on in life. I kind of fell into it later.
Okay.
But I'm in agreement with you, Jose. I was not a big fan of The Last Jedi. I loved The Force Awakens. I really enjoyed it. And in watching The Last Jedi, there were so many times in the movie I'm just kind of going, what? You know, I there was a lot I couldn't understand. And I think with the Rise of Skywalker, I think it was just trying to kind of make up for all the mistakes that The Last Jedi did. In my opinion, you know, that's the way I see it. You know, I'd be happy about this new trilogy if it wasn't Rian Johnson behind the wheel again, you know, to be quite honest. And I think you can tell me if you agree with me on or not, but I think in The Last Jedi, I think Rian Johnson was depending too much for people to kind of get the direction and kind of get where he was going, or just hoping that we would be patient enough to wait for the next movie. You know, I think he kind of relied on that a little too heavily because there was a lot that just didn't make a lot of sense to me.
There was a lot that didn't it didn't make sense to me. Adam says The Last Jedi is my favorite because Luke drinks tit milk. Well, you know, everyone likes it for some reason. I know you're just being facetious. Timothy says Disney really whoring out Star Wars. They're going to saturate the audience. You know what? They got to make that investment back. To spend $4 billion, they got to make it back, and they haven't yet. They already have how many shows going? Doubt we really need a new movie trilogy as well. It's not going to happen. Here's my take on this. This is not going to happen. Why? Because it hasn't happened yet. Rian Johnson did so much damage to the entire franchise with that one movie by shitting on everything that people loved. There's no way that they're going to let him back in on another one. They announced.
Unless Disney gets rid of Star Wars and lets him, it's the company that takes over, lets Ryan direct, which is not going to happen.
Yeah, no way.
Then I don't see him directing another Disney Star Wars movie.
No. I mean, and Disney's not going to let go of Star Wars. They already have parks. No way.
No, they're way too into it now.
No, we're way too into it now. And honestly, they announced it before Last Jedi. Last Jedi comes out, and then nobody mentions it. And now, Ryan says, "Oh yeah, it's still happening." Yeah, right. He's saving face because he doesn't want to look like a punk bitch. That no, you made a shitty Star Wars movie. You're not going to make another one. He can say whatever he wants. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Never.
Do you think there'll be more TV shows based off of Star Wars? Yeah.
For sure.
That's it for sure.
They already have like 3 or 4 more coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think that's the future of Star Wars. It's not this shit. It's it's gonna be it's absolutely gonna be TV shows at Disney Plus until they can find out. I mean, they already announced a trilogy with the Game of Thrones guys, and then that disappeared. So they don't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to movies. TV is gonna be it for a while. I don't buy it. Rian Johnson is never going to make another Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I mean, they did announce. I know they announced that they are doing another movie, but it's not like a trilogy movie. It's just kind of like one of the standalones. I forget what they're calling it, but I think it has. I may be mistaken, but it has something to do with the fighter pilots, something along those lines.
Yes, yeah, Rogue Squadron or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Directed by Patty Jenkins, but like, who knows if that's going to happen now that Wonder Woman tanked? Who knows?
Waiting for my Chewbacca spin-off series.
You know, they might as well. Javier is in the chat. He says the new trilogy will deal with the origins of said tit milk. Why not? They're going to have a whole series of books, and they're going to have a whole thing. All of the titty milk. They should make a Rian Johnson dunking booth and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I would pay money for that.
Me too.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Okay. Let's get to our next story here. Let's see. Okay. Give me a couple of minutes. Not minutes, just a couple seconds here to figure this out. Okay. So this one just kind of popped up on my radar, and I thought this is rife for discussion wherever you land on it. Tom Holland throws his hat into the James Bond ring, and at this point, why not? So he's being interviewed for like a ton of things. He's in 100 movies. He's in Uncharted, and obviously Spider-Man. And I guess they ask him a question, and he says, "I've got 2 roles coming up that I'm playing in the next few years that I'm really excited about, but I can't talk about them yet. But I mean, ultimately, as a young British lad who loves cinema, I'd love to be James Bond. So, I'm just putting that out there. I look pretty good in a suit." Now, I think he's a good actor. I think he looks okay in a suit. But I don't necessarily see him as James Bond, at least not yet. And I don't know that I want him in every damn franchise. Let's start with you, LD. What do you think about Tom Holland as the next James Bond, or maybe the next James Bond?
I think he could do it if it was like a James Bond prequel. If it showed like James Bond in like his early college years or something like that, or for lack of a better term. I could see him probably doing that. I do like Tom Holland. He's good in most of the stuff he does. But overall, I just think to play James Bond now, I think he has too much of a young look. You know what I mean?
I completely agree. He's one of those guys that I think even the older he gets, he's still going to have that boyish look. Like, to me, for some reason, I still feel like I'm blanking on his name. God damn it, Wolf of Wall Street. Why am I blanking on his name?
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yes, God damn it. Thank you. DiCaprio. DiCaprio, for me, still has a boyish look. I mean, he's like 50 or whatever, but there's something about him that he still feels boyish. So I don't know. Tom Holland, maybe 2 Bonds down the way, or as Javier says, James Bond, the college years. Yeah, that'll sell tickets. What do you think, Brian?
So I have a couple points in my life where I've seen a Tom Holland movie and a James Bond movie. I've seen Casino Royale when it first came out in theaters, which was 15 years ago, and I saw Tom Holland in The Heart of the Sea. That's all I have to go on it.
Oh wow! You haven't seen any of the new Bond movies or anything like that?
No, I've been meaning to. Actually, a friend of mine bought me a whole bunch, and they're sitting right over there.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, what do you see this guy as a future Bond?
Maybe a future blonde.
Oh. So I think that give him a couple of years, maybe about 5 or 6, and see how he goes from there. I wouldn't rush into it at his age.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got so much on his plate right now. I feel like he doesn't need every franchise.
Yeah, he's already Spider-Man, and yeah. He also, in 5 or 6 years, how old is he, by the way? I forgot.
Don't know. I don't know.
He's like early 20s or something.
Yeah, he's got, all these fucking guys are like 20, 21.
I'm born in the 90s, and it makes me feel old.
He's a youngster. He's definitely under 25.
Yeah. So in 5 or 6 years, around that age, he can change his appearance a lot. He can change also his mindset. So in 5 or 6 years, at that time, he'll have changed enough to maybe have pulled off the James Bond role. But let's say if he was like 30 or 40, that'd be a different story.
Right.
But since he's still young, if they gave him a little bit of time, I could see him pulling it off.
VML 3615 says too much of a twink for Bond. Can't argue with you there, my friend. Javier says maybe he could play a guy who watches Bond movies.
We could do like a meta movie, like a spy meta movie, where he's watching James Bond and is obsessed with it. There you go.
Yeah, that could actually be that. You know what? That could work. Timothy says straight Fagel. James Bond is supposed to be a tortured individual. Holland, giddy schoolboy. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, he's too much of a schoolboy. I don't. Well, here we go. Chat, chime in with your options. My number one choice for the next Bond, I want Henry Cavill. I think he would kill it as Bond. Do you guys have anybody you'd like to throw in the ring as a potential Bond?
Not off the top of my head. I have to look at some of the actors that are a little bit older.
Yeah, I have to think about that too. I'm not too knowledgeable on who's who nowadays.
On who's who? Yes, just Henry Cavill for sure, 100%. He's got to be Bond, man. I'm sorry. There's no way. There's no way that this little fancy boy thinks he can play Bond. He's a good actor, so who knows? Who knows what will happen? Timothy,
what about
top for Bond?
This could be a controversial one. What about Sam Worthington?
Oh,
he was in Clash of the Titans remake.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Is he British?
I think he's either British or Australian or one of the two.
He would be good. He would be good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Adam says.
I think he's Australian, to be honest.
Ed Rock would make a good Bond. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, Worthington is good. This is interesting. Frank Grillo as Bond.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Grillo's badass, man.
Oh yeah.
And he certainly made the Purge movies for me.
Oh yeah, and Skyline or Beyond Skyline was a good one he was in too.
Yes, absolutely. Tom Hiddleston. See, that's interesting. I feel like Tom Hiddleston is kind of like a grown-up version of Tom Holland. Like kind of an older Twinkie guy. I don't know. I guess if Hiddleston kind of beefs up a bit, maybe Rowan Atkinson already did it, and he did it amazingly in the Johnny English movies, which are great, so great.
I love those movies.
Oh yeah, gosh. I mean, as a Bond fan, I love that they take a piss out of the Bond franchise, but still have fun with it at the same time. Now, guys, we're going to do something that's a first on the show. Let me see here. Where do I have it? We're going to talk. Oh, there's somebody else who see Idris Elba. Javier says Idris Elba. Idris was in the running, but I don't think they're ready to jump on the Black Bond just yet.
Although he would be good, though, I think.
He would be good.
Yeah. He's good in everything he's in, pretty much.
Yeah, true. Timothy says, no, Rowan Atkinson for a real serious Bond. Hey, I'm okay with that. I think he's an amazing actor. But I think he might be a little too old. And if they're cutting ties with most of their actors because they're old, I don't know if... Oh, Timothy says, watch they cast a female and go woke. Well, I've heard some things about the new Bond that worries me very much. And I don't want to go into it right now. Maybe down the line we'll talk about it. But I've heard some things that really scare me and that might be a Last Jedi for Bond, if that's the case. I really hope it's not. But that remains to be seen. Okay, here is a first. We're going to talk Mortal Kombat. But have you guys had a chance to watch the trailer?
Yep.
I have not.
Well, guess what? Prepare your eyeballs. Let's watch, and then we'll chat at the other end.
First learned about this 7 years ago. On a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive. When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds. The target had superhuman abilities. It had the same marking you do, Cole.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born with it.
It's not a birthmark, Cole. It means you've been chosen.
Throughout history, different cultures all over the world reference a great tournament of champions. That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation to fight for something known. As Mortal Kombat.
These are your champions.
I'm Sonya. That's Kano.
I'm Liu Kang.
Name's Jax.
Kung Lao.
Lord Raiden. The fate of Earth is in our hands.
No matter how many of my people you put in the ground, we will not fail. Kill them.
I am Sub-Zero.
Wins. If beauty.
Now that is a hoot. I'm sure we all remember the original back in the the 90s?
95.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's LD, this is the first time you've seen it. What are your thoughts?
Wow, I'll be honest. I did not realize they were doing another one, but this is exciting. This is very, very exciting. Yeah, I remember seeing the 95 one, and it was the 95 one. You have to admit was kind of a watered down version of the games that we all know. Yeah. But man, it looks like they're really taking this full on, and man, I think this is going to be neat. This really makes my heart happy. It really does.
Fantastic. Brian, what are your thoughts?
So I saw the 95 one not too long ago, actually, for the first time. I wouldn't say it's watered down. I'd say it's bloodless, but it still packs a punch. The thing about it is that it reminds me of like the 90s full on. Like it's a 90s movie for sure. And then the sequel, Annihilation, which is more the same but worse.
Right.
So this movie, well, prior to it, I watched the movies, and then I was doing a whole bunch of research because I actually haven't played the games.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I wanted to get in the mindset and get in the world of Mortal Kombat. without having to play the games because I don't have a console. I don't have anything to play it on. I'm not really a big gamer, but watching this trailer, I feel that they're taking it in the right direction, while still trying to please the fans. Kind of like the '95 movie, just with blood.
Right. Yeah, my favorite part in the whole damn thing was the blood knife when Sub-Zero froze the blood.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Ah,
Yeah, when I did a trailer reaction to it, when I do a reaction, I have to do it on a smaller screen because I try to record it with the same thing. And I saw that, I'm like, did he just do that? He did that. When I watched it again, I'm like, he totally did that. That is awesome.
Oh man. Okay, let's hear from Chad here. VML says that trailer is amazing. Can't wait. Highly agree. Enjoy Kaiju. Trailer's good. Now there's been some talk about the birthmark. No one says Tenacious D birthmark.
I love that line.
It says looks awesome. Birthmark thing was dumb though.
Yeah, where they're like, so it's a birthmark. What does that mean? He was born with it. Like, that's what a birthmark is.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, what if he has the birthmark, but he really just wanted to get into accounting or something like that, you know?
Right. Sorry,
This is your question.
You can't. I know Kaiju says birthmark plot point is dumb. It remains to be seen. It may just be one of the things you go with. If you can accept Goro with four arms and a guy that can turn blood into ice knives, then whatever. A birthmark is the least of your problems.
Here's a good question. What about Goro 95 or Goro 21?
Oh man, because
there's one shot with Goro in the new trailer.
Yeah. And it's funny. They kind of look the same, if you ask me.
You can't really change him too much.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, like in terms of the practical suit they had or the CGI they used on.
I want to see it in action more before I decide. It's hard to tell right now. I think in action we'll get a better idea. Javier says maybe Grillo will get his revenge and punch poor guys in the ball. Maybe they might do that. Getting killed by your own frozen blood. Yeah, that's what a way to go. What a way to go. Let's see. Edited says the Chaos Spear should have a cameo. You know what? It's whenever I'm called. I've got my birthmark. I haven't been called to use it yet, but if it happens, I will take it out. Javier says, LD, try and learn that blood dagger move. That'll be a neat trick. Dude, if you can do that, oh man, it's badass.
Yeah, and it'll be the last time you see me too.
Jim says birthmarks are where you were killed in the previous lives, I've heard. Ooh, wow, what an interesting old wives' tale. That's cool.
Yeah, I also heard that he I don't want to say if it's a spoiler. I don't think it's a spoiler because it's not official. That he's the son of Scorpion. Cole is this kind of son of Scorpion, which Cole I heard wasn't even in the game, so he's a new character.
New guy, yeah. Okay, interesting. I mean, yeah, if they're gonna introduce a new guy, there's got to be some kind of connection. They're not just gonna fan fiction it out with some dude who has nothing to do with the franchise. Let's see. Interweb Kaiju says, "Do you think that's Cage in the Goro shot from the trailer?" Maybe. Have they announced who's in the movie? Like all the characters? I don't know if they have yet.
I know there's Kano, there's Sonya Blade, there's a whole bunch of. I haven't heard Johnny Cage. I heard he wasn't in the movie, but that could be not true. When the movie comes out, they surprise us and have him in the movie. But I don't know if that was some of the trailer or not.
Yeah, there is one shot with Reptile. It's brief, but you can see Reptile in there.
Oh wow!
Cool.
I gotta rewatch that. I didn't notice that one.
It's the very third to last shot in the film with Kano and Reptile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's quick, but he's there. And Katana too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh man, I'm so excited for this, and I'm happy that HBO Max is gonna release it at home so I can watch it with my family. I showed it to my son, and he went crazy for it. He's played the games, but his mom makes me turn off the blood. But he's played the games, and he hasn't seen the movies, but I think he's down to party for this one.
Sorry, go ahead.
Timothy says, I also heard if you whack off, you get hairy palms. Wait, what? I must have missed that conversation. What are you guys talking about? Okay. You guys continue your Harry Palms discussion. What was that, Brian?
So I've had an interesting thought about Mortal Kombat since I started watching the movie and researching it. Do you guys think it's kind of like Power Rangers but for adults in a way?
I don't know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
More
No, you go
mature,
ahead.
I should say, than Power Rangers.
Go ahead, LD.
I don't know, because all the characters are not really in a team per se. Everyone is. I mean, the way the storylines go as far as the games go, everyone kind of has like their own story that they're kind of following. I know in the 9 to 5 movie, you basically had the good guys who are from separate stories, but of course in Hollywood fashion they just all came together and like, yeah, we'll beat these guys. So I don't know if Power Rangers would be what I would relate it to, but I think that's probably the closest comparison.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that.
Maybe it's just more the 95 movie, but not so much the games.
Right. Yeah, especially the latest games.
Yeah.
The games are very much like Bloodsport, the video game. It's very much that type of feel. But I feel when it comes to the movies and they team up, there's sort of that superpowered weirdos against superpowered weirdos kind of thing. So hopefully it's better than the Power Rangers movie, which I didn't hate. The most recent Power Rangers movie. I thought it was pretty good for the most part.
I didn't mind it. I also liked the short bootleg film they came out with that was hard R and everything for Power Rangers. That was a good one.
That was good. That was crazy good, man. Okay, so here we are. Timothy says Cage was inspired by Van Damme.
Yep.
Yes. Jim says Johnny Cage is John Moxley, formerly of XCW. Dean Ambrose. Oh, really? Is that confirmed? Okay.
Oh.
So I guess he is in the movie.
Awesome.
That's great.
It'd be really funny because how like in the latest games they have these add-ons where you can have like a Jason come in and fight or Predator. So it'd be really funny if there was like a special feature where all of a sudden the good guys win, but then they turn around and there's Jason and Predator right behind them.
That'd be a cool Blu-ray special feature if they do that.
Yeah,
for the movie. That'd be cool.
That would be great. Then the sequel would be like, everyone's gonna want that sequel now. Holy shit!
That kind of reminds me of what was it? Return to House on Haunted Hill, that Blu-ray that came out where they could tell you, no, you could choose who dies in what way or if they ran away or not, and then it would affect the whole movie.
That
was pretty cool.
Okay, Jim was just messing around. Well, you never know. Good as guess as any. But if he's in it, it remains to be seen.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Christopher Lambert is not in the movie, but apparently he handled the catering. Well, we love Christopher Lambert. He's a good man. He's a good man, and he will live forever with his crazy laugh. Which I wish I had a gif of that, but I don't. Sadly, I do not. Okay, next story of the day. This one, I don't know how I feel about it, but let's discuss. So, in case you haven't heard, there is a Matrix 4, and it's currently shooting, which blows my mind that they're able to shoot something this big during a pandemic. But guess who they just cast in this movie? And it's somebody that I never would have imagined would be in the film. Of course, it's Neil Patrick Harris. And he says about the shooting of the film, it didn't feel large because it felt like she was in her sweet spot. She was filming on the fly, filming using natural light. And she's talking about the directors. Actually, both directors, I think, who've transitioned, actually. Sometimes you'd sit around for an hour waiting for the clouds to clear, and then you'd quickly film. You'd film pages at a time in 30 minutes and then be done. You would think that a giant movie would be 100% storyboarded, animatics, and we'd be checking off shots. I think she lived that before 3 times over, and I would suspect that she wants to do her thing her own way. It wasn't often that you felt that you were doing something gigantic because she made it feel very intimate. Well, it looks like the shoot is going swimmingly, and they're shooting it like an indie film, which is surprising to me. But Neil Patrick Harris is in the Matrix. I'm very on the fence about this casting. I think he's a fine actor, but you know who they left out of the movie?
Oh.
Morpheus is not in the movie. And apparently there is a young Morpheus, but they did not bring Mr. Fishburne back to reprise the role, which I find really bizarre and kind of awful. It's not like he's dead; he's still there, but he's not going to be in the movie as far as we know. But we do have Agent Doogie appearing in the film. Brian, what are your thoughts on Neil Patrick Harris in The Matrix?
This is another case where I haven't seen the movies.
You've never seen The Matrix?
I know.
What? Oh my God.
I actually just bought them all for the first time recently. I've been planning on watch them for the new movie that was coming out.
Wow, man.
I know. I'm missing out a lot.
Oh my gosh.
So all those indie films I watch, I swear.
God, yeah. There's a lot of those. Yeah. They take up a lot of time. Okay. Then LD, what do you think about Neil Patrick joining The Matrix?
Well, do we know what his role is exactly? Is he like the main guy, or is he kind of like a secondary character?
I'm not sure. I hope he doesn't fight Neo, because I don't think anybody would buy that. Everything's being kept really hush hush and tight lipped. No one knows what the plot is, and for the most part, it was all wrapped up in the third one. So I don't know what's happening in this one. Fishburne isn't in it, so maybe Morpheus is only involved in some way, but not at all. I don't know. I just feel like if you were casting the movie, I wouldn't necessarily go with Neil Patrick Harris as my first choice for that universe. Do you know what I mean? Does that sound weird? Like he doesn't feel like it fits.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I like Neil Patrick Harris. By the way, he's also a magician, believe it or not.
That's why I brought it
up. You came to this story specifically for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I do like Neil Patrick Harris. He's a great film actor. He's a great Broadway actor. But he definitely would not have been my first pick for The Matrix. It really depends on I think it's really going to depend on what his role is. I could probably see him as maybe kind of like a guy that's trying to like hack into stuff. But as far as like a Neo-esque character, I don't know. But then again, a lot of times we get blown away by surprises like this all the time.
Absolutely. Because when you join the Matrix franchise, you expect that you're going to be jumping around and shooting guns, and I don't know that I can picture this fella doing some stunts. I don't know. It's very strange. Let's hear from the chat. Jim says Doogie is the Matrix version of Yoda. Sure. I think I'd buy him more as like a sage, almost like takey guy than like a karate fighting badass. But I don't know. Timothy says I like MPH, but I don't know about this casting. Javier suggests, how about Tommy Wiseau? He would be amazing. Tommy would certainly make up for for any deficiencies when it comes to the missing of Mr. Fishburne. Jim says maybe Harold and Kumar can make an appearance. Yeah, that would be great. How hilarious would that be? That they appear in his movies. That would be awesome. I don't think that'll happen, but that would be quite a treat. Okay, next story, and this one, I think this was going to appeal to all of us, at least 80s fans, as it were. Good news, bad news. Edgar Wright is going to direct a remake of The Running Man. Of course, the bad news is that it's a remake, but Edgar Wright is a solid director. This is breaking news. This came out today as of the recording of the video of the live show. Paramount Pictures is making a deal with Edgar Wright to develop and direct a new adaptation of The Running Man, the futuristic novel by Stephen King that the author first published under the pseudonym Richard Bachman. This won't be... Oh, okay. See, I didn't read this part. This won't be a remake of the 1987 film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. The Baby Driver writer-director will co-write the story with Michael Bacall, and they will be much more faithful King's best-selling novel. I haven't read the novel, the original Running Man. Is there anything more? No, that's it. I haven't read the original Running Man, so I can't vouch for whether that's a good thing or not. But you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger's film is a classic, and I'm going to guess. I'm going to hope that Brian has some thoughts on Running Man. You've seen Running Man, yes? No, you. You've never seen Running Man?
Nope. I've only seen a handful of Schwarzenegger films. I've seen Terminators, all the Terminators. I've seen Commando, and some other ones.
All right. Well, the idea is sort of a futuristic, you know, kind of like Survivor. You know, before there was a Survivor, but I think it's. If I might be mistaken, chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I believe it's. I believe it's convicts are put through the put into this contest, and if they survive, they get out for free. And so Schwarzenegger is a convict, and he's put in this game where he has to run away from crazy people who want to kill him if he survives. Kind of like American Gladiators, but they can kill you. So that's essentially the plot. LD, what are your thoughts on this one?
I'm in the same camp with Brian. I have not seen Running Man either.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, let me give you an exclusive first look at the new movie. I was able to talk to Edgar, and he sent me a clip. So a world exclusive clip of the Running Man remake. I think it's going to be fantastic. Okay, Javier, let's hear from Chad here. Javier says, as long as Maria Conchita Alonso is in it, I'm in. Isn't she? Didn't she pass? I could have sworn she passed away. I might be wrong.
She's still alive.
She is? Okay.
Yep.
Timothy says, love the OG Running Man. I agree. Chat, what do you think about a remake, or I guess a redo? Because Mr. Wright is going to take it off of the book. I haven't read the book, so I don't know how close it is to the movie, or how much it changes. I'm sure Schwarzenegger's character is very different in the book. Let's see. Timothy's. Okay, I already got Timothy's. No one says OMG, so it sounds like you're excited about that. Jim Faust says Running Man was more sci-fi in my opinion. The only thing I remember is Arnie shooting down a helicopter. Yeah, it's definitely a sci-fi film. Who knows what they're going to turn it into. I thought you were going to play the Mac and Me clip. Mac and Me clip? Mac and Me is a solid-ass movie, man. It's a great movie. It's right up there. To me, it's as classic as E.T. as far as I'm concerned. Jim says, I think it was part of a short story collection. Was it? I know it was a shorter story, but I thought they had released it on its own. Oh, you know what? You're right. I think it might have been like Skeleton Crew or one of those. I don't know. I'm on the fence. Only if it retains the Paul Verhoeven satire. Well, you know it's not gonna, because Verhoeven is a very unique filmmaker. There's no way. There's no way they're gonna keep that in the running.
Paul Verhoeven directed it?
Yes.
It says Paul Michael Glazer in the credits. Oh, that's weird.
Paul Michael Glazer. Oh, you know what? Wait. Running Man. Oh, wait. I don't think that's Verhoeven. Verhoeven directed.
Oh, no, he directed Total Recall. Yeah.
Javier says, "What I want to know is when they'll be rebooting House Party. I'll keep you posted. Pal. They're working on it. McDonald's and Me. That is, of course, a reference to Mac and Me. Classic. Speaking of McDonald's, stay tuned tomorrow's daily episode. I enjoy the Shamrock Shake. Stay tuned. Mastercast TV.
All we need is another Mega Shark movie written by Jose.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, I thought after the last one they were going to go, hey, you should write all of them. I didn't get it. That was actually the funnest time I ever had writing something. Was that damn movie? The Asylum, I should say. Timothy says that now we're talking Mac and Me. This is completely off topic, guys. I don't have a Mac and Me gif. Maybe next time, but that's awesome. Mac and Me rules. So stay tuned. Who knows? Running Man is coming. I don't know if that bodes well for it or not. Edgar Wright is a solid director, so fingers crossed that it's going to be decent. I like his films. He makes likable films, and I hope that we do get a chance to maybe tell the correct version of it. But who knows? Who knows? Oh, Jim says, I can't wait to see the Little Shop of Horrors remake. Hopefully it's bloodier and the plant is badass. I heard that was happening. I don't know if that's gotten any traction, but it remains to be seen. I love the original. I don't know if it'll happen.
The 80s one or the 50s one?
I actually like both of them, but the 80s one is probably my favorite musical of all time. And LD, you probably remember this. We got to perform this live, embarrassingly, for our high school.
Yeah, you were the baby plant, and I was Seymour.
Yes,
I still remember that.
What an adventure! And then recently on another live show, we reviewed The Outsiders, and I said,
The Outsiders.
Yeah, I was like, in my younger years, I played Tony Boy in my high school play. I felt real cool about that. Kaiju, there's a Little Shop of Horrors remake. They've been talking about it for years. I don't think it's gotten any traction, so I don't know if it's actually happening or not. But there is one in the works, from what I hear.
It's kind of like the Blob getting a remake. There's been talks about it, but it hasn't. It's kind of a similar growing monster story.
Mm-hmm.
I might be mistaken, but I think maybe Rob Zombie was attached at one point.
He was.
Mm.
I don't know. Rob Zombie directed the Blob. I don't know, man.
I mean, it's like a friendly, wholesome town that gets attacked, and he would just turn it into white trash central. It'd be totally different from the other two.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what it would be.
Yeah.
Okay, it's that time in the show. Well, the more time in the show, but we're gonna do a little magic. We're done with stories, and it's time for a little magic. I'm gonna turn it all over to the man, the myth, the legend, LD Madera. LD, is there something you want to do with the chat? It might be hard because I know there's sort of a delay, but
yeah, I think for this next one, we'll do it with you and me. That'll be easier. Well, nothing beats a good old-fashioned card trick. And I'll go ahead and show you that all the cards are different. You can see that the cards are different and in no particular order. Now I'll just give the cards a few quick cuts, just like that. So, Master Chaos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to riffle through the deck, and then anytime you want, you go ahead and just yell, stop. Ready?
Okay. Stop.
Stop. Are you happy right there?
Yeah.
Would you like me to go a little further, or you want me to stay there?
Stay there.
You're a guy who knows what he wants. That's great. All right, so you come into this card right over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look away so I don't look at the screen, but I'm going to show you guys the cards. Okay. Make sure no one says it out loud, including you guys in the chat. But I'm going to turn my head, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the card. Tell me if you can see.
There's a little glare on it. Bring it a little closer.
A little glary.
How's that?
Tilt it upward a little bit. No. Not down.
It's too glary, dude. You're gonna have to bring it closer and then angle it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see it. Okay.
Got it.
You got it?
We're good.
Yep.
Okay, great. I'll just go ahead and put it back in there and just lose it inside the deck, just like that. Now, I have a little drawing pad here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to read your mind, Master Chaos, because I love reading minds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to draw your card on this pad right here. Okay. So what I need you to do, Master Chaos, is I want you to clear your mind.
Okay.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
And magician joke. All right. I'm definitely feeling something. Okay, let me just go ahead and start drawing what I see in my head right now. Yeah, this is pretty clear. All right. So far, so good.
Yeah, it's a card shape. Good.
Yeah.
you're in the right ball field.
Right. And you'll have to forgive me because I'm not a great artist, but I do believe that this is the card that you're thinking of. So what I'm going to do is, in a moment, I'm going to turn the pad around, and when I do, I just want you to say in a loud and clear voice, "Yes, LD, that's my card," as loud as you can. Let me just finish it up right here. Almost done. Again, I'm not the best artiste, but it works great nonetheless. Okay, so I've made my drawing, and it now cannot be changed. I'm going to go ahead and turn the card around, turn the notepad around, and you go ahead and say in a loud voice, "Yes, LD, that's my card. Here it is, your card, Master Chaos, the Ace of Clubs."
That is not the card.
Wait, what the hell?
And that's it for Chaos Live.
Hold on. You're sure it wasn't that?
That was not the card.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Don't worry. We can fix this. We can fix. This is fixable. If we just do some lines there and lines there, and now this is the bottom of a deck of cards, and your card is somewhere inside this deck.
Okay.
That's how you fix that. Now I know that sounds a little impossible, but give me a minute so I can prove it to you.
Okay. Whoa, look at that.
Whoa.
And I want you to see, Master Chaos, that this really is a solid piece of paper. The ink is dry. There's no holes or tears inside the paper whatsoever.
That is awesome.
Holy shit. What?
I will mail this out to you, Master Chaos, so you can frame this in your room.
I would be honored, man. Thank you. That was certainly magic. Dude,
We can get tired of that GIF right there.
My God, yeah. Me and Brian are over here. Our minds are blown. You know what Edgar says? I'm calling the cops. That's it. Burn the witch. Burn the witch. Wow. Let's see. See, this is a part of the trick, thinking he fucked up. I straight just fucked up when I tried. Haha. Shit really is magic. Oh, I see. Because I think he's trying it at home. And N says, "Holy mind blown." People are calling you a warlock, which I think is more apropos.
Very true. Very true.
Hey, it's 2021, man. Witch and warlock, it could be both. It's cool, man.
That's right.
We accept everyone here. Timothy says you're just a straight up witch.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true.
That was amazing, guys. Go follow LD if you haven't already for mind blowing stuff like that. Brian, let's chat books.
All right.
Give us sort of a brief history of your authorship, sir.
So, do you want me to start from the very beginning, or kind of when I got into writing?
Yeah, just tell us about the books you've published and kind of where everybody can find them.
All right. So I wrote a couple books so far. Didn't plan on releasing them, but I did. I'm proud of what they are. I keep on getting better and better as I write more and more, I've noticed, and people who have read my books have also noticed. The first book is called Wild Man. You can find it on Amazon by typing in Wild Man by Brian Gatto. It's BrianGatto. And then the second one is called Chomp, which they are both on Amazon on Kindle and paperback. I am trying to get Chomp released by an actual publisher because they're both self-published. So if that book disappears off of Amazon, there's going to be a new one put up there. If it doesn't, then I didn't get the gig, but that's okay. I still like to write.
That's awesome, man. And so you said you're 27?
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, that's great, man. I started young, just writing, and that was like my super passion. So I love connecting with fellow authors. I actually had no idea you were an author, which is my bad. I apologize.
That's all right.
But
most people don't.
But I think that's amazing. And but I would say most of your content is movie love, right? Like just from what we can see of your room, you are overwhelmed.
Let's see if I can turn it a little bit more to show you my Blu-ray. Those are just the second wall.
Oh my gosh.
And not one of them is the Matrix.
No, I have the Matrix. It's up on the shelf on that shelf over there.
He has them.
I had to buy it at a secondhand thrift store because I kept on forgetting to purchase it online. Then I'm like, oh, I went to a thrift store. I'm like, oh, hey, there it is.
Hey, man, there you go. That's awesome. Have you ever counted how many you have?
Once upon a time, there was about 1,800, which was about 5-6 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I counted once a long time ago, and I forget the number, and I've decided to not count again. I think it's better to not.
It would take an entire day to do it.
Oh my God. At least a day, probably more. Oh my God.
Yeah, I have to count each shelf and then write down the number so I wouldn't forget.
I tried that too. I tried keeping a log. Like I have an app with the thing, but it's so hard because if I get new movies, I forget to scan them. And
yeah, I used to write mine on Word document, like all of them. I got from A to C. It's like, oh, that's it. I'm done. This is taking forever.
Oh my God, that's a lot of work, man. That is a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's amazing, guys. If you're not following Brian, please do. His stuff is really fun. Jim chimes in with a name for you. Let me see if I can get it here. Witchlock. There's a Witchlock or War Witch. Oh, the War Witch. That's weird but cool at the same time.
It should be the name of a metal band.
Yeah,
that does sound like a metal band.
Look, you're making the water disappear, LD. That's great. Jim says, I call myself a horror specialist. All my coworkers go to me for horror news and short stories I write on notebooks. I'm too cheap to get a laptop. Oh man, that's awesome. Get a laptop, bro. Especially if you're writing. But yeah, everybody starts with a notebook.
Yep.
A pen and paper. That's all it is.
I've actually got some advice for that. I have a friend who actually just passed away at the age of 81. I attended his virtual funeral this morning.
Wow.
His name was Guy N. Smith. He's an acclaimed pulp horror writer. I wanted to shout him out for that, and also that he doesn't write on a computer or even a typewriter. He writes all his by hand, and he has his typist type them out for him.
Wow.
So you can always write them on paper, and then eventually, when you're able to afford a laptop or even a typewriter, write them all out, and you'll have them all set for you.
That's amazing. That's good advice, and rest in peace to your friend. That's very sad to hear the passing of an artist. But hey, if you guys ever want to write, pen, paper, sit down somewhere quiet, and churn it out. That's all it is. I mean, Brian can attest to the fact that all it is sitting there and typing.
Yep.
Typing and trying to get it out.
And trust me, your hand will hurt after an hour, but you'll get used to it.
Or like me, you'll develop carpal tunnel, and your hand will just go numb after a while. You can just keep
march
going
with your other hand.
Yeah.
Don't stop, whatever you do.
Jim says, sorry for your loss, and thanks for the heads up. That's a very kind of you. Timothy says, some people like the feel of writing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, whenever I do a script or something, I always write it out. I don't write the whole thing out because that would be pointless for a script. But I will always outline on paper. Sit with a pot of coffee and just write the movie out, scene by scene. And then when I go to write it, I know what I'm doing. It's always easier to have it on paper.
What I found recently, actually, that really works for me is write 5 chapters at least of your book. Then stop. Go back to what you've already written and then write an outline for the rest. Because then if you have 5 chapters in, you already have a steady start on the story. And then when you keep on writing the outline, it'll become easier because you don't have to focus on the whole book. You're just focusing what's going to happen next.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I mean, I think writing a book is very different from writing a script. There's you have to get into a whole different mindset. In a script, you have to worry about budget. When you write a script, you have to we can't afford that. So why would I write laser sheep? That fall out of 30 robot sharks. That's not going to happen. In a book, you could do that.
There's no limitations, only with copyright.
Yes.
But that's easily avoidable. But writing a script and writing a book, it's 2 different ways of writing. You're writing first person or third person, depending on how you want the story to be presented.
Absolutely. So yeah, hey, if you guys have any other writing questions, I'm sure Brian is available to allow his brain to be picked. If you have any magic questions, if your LD has a few spare brain cells there to share with you. Most of your brain is magic, though, so it's hard to find where the magic part of you ends and the human part of you begins.
Yeah, I still don't know myself.
Yeah, exactly. Jim says, I like the feel of writing too. Very nice. And I also like to write fake Onion-style stories. Yes. You know what's funny about that? And maybe you guys can give me your opinion. Since I do daily content, and I was trying to figure out, God, I'm running out of shit to do. I almost, and chime in as well, I almost considered writing, writing a script for a video, but having it be a fake story. Like, oh, breaking news, Stephen Hawking is the new Spider-Man, and then have photoshopped pictures of him in the costume or whatever. That would be a lot of work, but I thought that would either be kind of really fun and people would love it and it would blow up, or people would get really mad and pissed off and unsubscribe because I'm creating fake content. What do you think, Brian? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it'd be the latter more so because people are always being duped about news on YouTube and Facebook, and it gets really annoying. And but if you do it in a tasteful way, where it's like let's say. Trying to think of an example. You're working on, you make up a story about an older movie and say, oh, this is getting a remake, or oh, this character is going to be changed, and something that's totally unbelievable,
right.
Or something that they would never do, and you do something like that where it's something implausible or not going to happen at all, and then I think the audience would be more forgiving, unless and if you make something that's in the realm of reality, like, oh, they cast this character in this show, this actor in this show, and they're like, oh, really? And they look at it and it's not really the case, then they'll be mad. But if it's something like, let's say, David Hasselhoff joins the new Avengers movie.
Right. I mean, technically, at one point, he was Nick Fury, so...
Well, shows what I know about superheroes.
That's true.
I think it was a TV movie or something. What do you think, Andy? Do you think that would play well, or do you think people would be like, fuck this guy?
I agree with Brian. I mean, I think if you could do it in a way. Whoop, sorry, someone's calling me. I can't talk right now. I'm doing a live stream. Sorry. No. I can't talk right now. No, sir. Sorry, guys. Some people are rude. Yeah, I agree with Brian. If you do it in a way where it's super obvious that you're making it up, then I think it's fine. But if you try to make it where no, this is a real thing, I think nowadays people are a lot more in tune to what's fake and what's not. And so I think people are at a point where we're just kind of tired of being lied to about things like that. And so we're very quick to just call out people on their BS. So, but again, if you're able to do it in a fun way that makes people laugh, hey, new Spider-Man cameo with Bernie Sanders or something like that, jump on that bandwagon, then yeah, I think that's good for a laugh,
Yeah.
I'll have to think about it. But Casey from Interweb Kaiju says, at least give us something good for April Fool's Day. Oh man.
There you go.
I've got something planned. I probably shouldn't have said that I had anything planned, so forget I said that. I don't have anything planned. If it never happens, April Fool's Day will be a normal video. Jim is letting us know that he's writing a book now called Dog Logic, like life from a dog's POV, like milk being cold, birds crap. To a dog, it might be laugh my ass off. That's a cool idea. There's a surprising market for books about dogs and books from a dog's perspective. That could actually do really well, man.
There's a couple of them that are horror, even like Watchers by Dean Koontz or Thor, which was also made into the movie Bad Moon with the werewolf with the dog trying to be the hero. A couple of them like that. It could be horror. It could be like the mass market where they're like, oh, let's make it cutesy and stuff.
Yeah. Bad Moon is one of my favorite werewolf movies.
It's a great one.
Javier says, LD, you have a cheap phone. You should probably, well, now you have to change your provider and all that stuff, man. Jeez.
Yeah. It's an expensive trick to do because I got to keep getting more phones to do that trick.
I know. It's you're the witch lock. You can just conjure them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Make the right dog movie, and you got a new Air Bud franchise. Yes,
or Beethoven.
or Beethoven. 800 Beethoven and Air Bud movies. So you never know. LD, you've got to stop burning through phones just for the sake of magic. But sometimes you just have to unleash it. The magic.
Should if it wasn't something for copyright, you should have had Queen It's a Kind of Magic playing.
Oh yeah. Well,
YouTube,
YouTube is a fickle mistress.
Yeah.
We try to not anger YouTube as much as possible.
It's like what was it? Not Bill and Ted. Wayne's World. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
No,
yeah. Did you guys see the Wayne's World ad during the Super Bowl?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
It was crazy.
That made me laugh. It made me laugh a little bit.
What the hell was it for? I forgot what the hell they were advertising. I was just so shocked.
Yeah, I don't even remember. And honestly, I don't think it really matters what it was that they were selling. It was just cool to see Wayne and Garth together again.
Absolutely. I love it.
What about that Die Hard battery commercial?
Oh man.
I forgot that one. What was it?
It was Bruce Willis and the guy who played Argyle all coming back for like a Die Hard spoof with the Die Hard battery commercial.
It was pretty good. I'm sure they had to pay Bruce Willis quite a bit.
Yeah.
I've heard some stories about him, which is unfortunate. He's very difficult to work with, and I mean, if you hear Kevin talk about him, it's like he has nothing nice to say about Bruce Willis.
Have you guys seen the Death Wish movie he was in? The newer one?
It's terrible.
I liked it.
Did you?
I did.
Oh,
well, I love the original ones, like all 5 of the original ones. But the new one, I felt like Bruce Willis was doing a better performance than he had recently, but it wasn't anywhere as good as it could have been.
Yeah. Well, I'll agree. I think he was the best in that movie for sure. But I don't know. I felt action-wise and whatever. I felt like it should have. I don't know. You expect Eli Roth to really go for the gusto, and it didn't really get there. In terms of the gore and the violence. But
yeah,
I mean,
there were a couple parts, but not like an overall gore-soaked experience.
Right. Like that. I mean, like I wish the third act was a little meatier than it was. I don't know. There's a lot of things I would have changed, but maybe it was a whole budgetary issue that they had to deal with. But
yeah,
it is what it is. Okay, pals. I guess we're winding down here. LD has to recharge his magic. Brian has to jump back into the world of books and the world of collecting.
Oh yeah.
I have to go have dinner with the family.
Right.
NNN says, I liked the new Death Wish, but nothing beats the original. Absolutely. Bronson is untouchable. There's not going to be anybody like Bronson.
Was untouchable. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us.
You know what's crazy? I didn't even know that he was such a badass. Like I was rewatching Great Escape, and I go, "Oh, he's in this." Then he takes his shirt off, and the dude's like the Hulk. Like, holy shit! Like you see the Death Wish movies, and he seems like a scrawny dude. But back in the day, that guy was like a tank.
Yeah, and he was also in a lot of westerns. I didn't know that for the longest time.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was in Once Upon a Time in America, I think it was called, by Sergio Leone, who directed The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and stuff like that.
Once Upon a Time in the West. He was in Red Sun. He did a lot of stuff. He was great. Casey, it's kind of crap. I don't know why they make this. The Coke coffee is exactly what you would imagine. Black coffee and Coke. It's drinkable, but in a strange way, it hurts my body. That's my review.
Oh my god, yeah, NN Horror, his comment about Death Kiss. I've seen that movie. That was pretty good.
Look at the movie Death Kiss. Okay.
He doesn't sound like Charles Bronson, but he looks exactly like him.
Really? Okay, I haven't heard that. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's half of Bronson.
Well, that's great. That'll do for tonight, Bugaboo. First of all, I want to thank my guests very much. my old pal LD and my new pal Brian. Thank you guys so much. Everybody in the chat, if you haven't already, go visit these guys. Now it takes a minute for YouTube to process live stuff, but I'm going to go in the description as soon as this is over. I'm going to put the links for their channel, and I'm going to try and find Brian's books. I'm going to put the links for that down there as well. And go at least say hi, give them a thumbs up, and tell them that you love them, because that's a nice thing to hear. Chad, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I will see you tomorrow, as always. And I look forward to bringing you maybe something for April Fool's Day. I don't know. I haven't really thought of it. We'll see what happens. And I do apologize. At the beginning of this video, I played the outro instead of the intro, so you're going to see the outro twice. But it is what it is. Guys, thank you very much. And as for you, pal, you're from the neighborhood. Master Chaos loves you just the way you are. Remember that you're worthy. You matter. You are important to this world, and I'm glad to have you here very much. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. I remain to be continued.